What is up, NERF Nation? I'm Naptown NERF, and this is an unboxing review of the NERF Dinosquad Rex Rampage. Alright, you guys, so I'm super excited for this new line, the Dinosquad line from NERF. I think it's a really cool looking line. It really reminds me of the Max Force line back when I was a kid. That probably still is my favorite line aesthetically. So it's really cool to see them doing something similar with this line, and I'm pretty excited to see what else they come out with. But this blaster definitely looks really, really cool, and given that it's a strife internally, I think it's going to be something that I can actually modify and use somewhat practically. So pretty excited about this one. By the way, if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, I know it's been a minute. Thanks for holding on. Thanks for supporting the channel. Hopefully we can do more videos more regularly, but I really am only going to do videos of things that I'm really excited about, because it's pointless to do videos and spend money on things that you don't care about. That's kind of what I've decided. So nevertheless, let's see what the back of the box shows us today. So obviously you have a nice render of the blaster here. It does have some dart storage on the back there, which is interesting. We do have the Stego Smash and the Tricera Blast shown off there. They're basically front loaders, very simple blasters. Nothing, they definitely look cool. I think they're awesome blasters in terms of aesthetic, but not something that's super practical for me to use. But let's go ahead and see what the Rex Rampage has. Alright, in the package you obviously get your Rex Rampage blaster, a 10-round banana mag, 20 Elite style Dinosquad darts in some nice environmental packaging, and I think that's an A+ by NERF to go to that, and some instructions. Alright guys, so I went ahead and loaded up the magazine with 10 darts and then put 10 darts back here in the storage, which I think is pretty sweet that they've added storage back here. Honestly, I'd probably prefer something that holds another magazine, but given the looks of this blaster, I think that would be a little strange. This makes a little bit more sense, and I think it is fun for kids to have dart storage on their blaster and then be able to reload their one magazine you get with the blaster. So better than nothing, I guess. And it is somewhat protected there because we have a stock here. Went ahead and loaded up 4 AA batteries. They are not included in the battery tray back here. You just need a Phillips head screwdriver to undo that and load them up. Blaster is, you know, somewhat interesting, actually. The grip is a little small, but not terrible. Obviously, I understand that this is definitely designed for a child, so that makes a little bit more sense. The biggest issue I probably have is the space for your finger between the trigger and the mag release. There is like very, very little room between the two. That seems tight to me no matter really how big your hand is, but I do understand that a kid's finger isn't as long and they can't reach as far, obviously, but this is really, really tight. The good thing is when I push on that, the magazine does not gravity drop, so I think that's actually a good thing in this case. So if you accidentally hit that, you shouldn't have an issue. This is actually quite sticky to go in and out, in my opinion. That's actually probably a good thing. It does go pretty smoothly, but it doesn't fall right out and it doesn't slide right in real quick. For this blaster, I actually think that's a plus. We have a jam door on back here, which is kind of cool. I love how it slides up and down. I think that's fun. You know, we might have to go with a Jurassic Park theme paint job on this if we ever get to it. I'm sure a lot of other people will get to that before me, because that'll be a common theme with these blasters, but this definitely gives you a nice feel of that, in my opinion, obviously along with the dinosaur. The scope is a bit large, and I wish it wasn't there. Honestly, I wish it was an attachment, but it is locked into the blaster, and it does not have any sort of plastic or glass, and obviously does not magnify, but that was pretty much assumed. Really, all you get is the grid right there in the plastic in front. So, you know, it's fun. I think scopes are fun for kids, but would have liked to see that at least as an attachment point. We do have an interesting foregrip up here, which is kind of neat how it's integrated into the look of the blaster, but it also is a great place to put your hand, and I think that is probably, you know, my favorite part of the practical design of this blaster, how they've integrated that into the look of the blaster. I think that's really, really cool. We also have a sling point, I guess, up front here, which is a very interesting place for a sling point. Don't know how practical that is, but it is there. The stock is obviously a little short, but it isn't horrendous. And then you're like really up there on the scope. So not that I'll be looking through the scope, but yeah, that's a little tight, but you know, not too bad, honestly. I think it's still okay, especially for like CQB and stuff. So, you know, let's go ahead and fire this thing off because I know you guys are excited to see what it has. All right, you guys, let's hear this thing roar. Seems to be getting pretty standard stock performance, which is good. Nothing out of the ordinary. You know, you're not going to get, obviously, the Dart Zone Pro kind of performance, or just the Dart Zone performance at all. But getting very standard seems like NERF performance. We will put it over the chronograph. I might put it over the range depending on weather, but I will definitely get you all that data in my closing statements. But if you're not familiar on exactly how this works, you do want to pull this rev trigger here before pulling the firing trigger, and it actually won't let you pull this until you push this. So that is a safety they have put in there. So you want to pull that, then you pull your trigger, and that will fire a dart. And it is semi-auto, so you have to pull the trigger each time you want to fire a dart. So let's go ahead and put this thing over the chronograph. Okay, you guys, so we actually got a decent day today. I waited a day, and we have some sun. Somewhat warmer, at least it's above freezing today, so that's nice. But you can really notice the nice texture detail they've put into this blaster. I really like that a lot. I think the aesthetic is perfect for the Dinosquad line. It got this bone part back here wrapping, you know, so it's pretty sweet. I think they did a really nice job designing this thing. But let's go ahead and put it over the chronograph and see what kind of performance it's getting. 61. Error. 66. That didn't read, I don't think. 71. 66. 66. Error. It's having trouble with the Elite Darks going straight over because they're so inaccurate. 67. 67. And we're out. So I shot this over the chronograph inside, and it was a little more consistent reading there, and it was between 65 and 70. So, you know, pretty standard elite performance with a flywheeler, I think. So, you know, pretty much what you expect. We'll go ahead and check out those ranges, but they should be pretty standard elite ranges. So the shortest ones are about 38 feet here. We got one here at 43, one up here at 46, you know, and then we got a few long ones, 52, 55 and a half, I would say. So, you know, I would say about 45 feet is, you know, about right, average. Most of them landed around in this range between like 40 and 46 feet. So, yeah, pretty standard performance. Let's go back inside and I'll give you my final thoughts. All right, you guys, so this is obviously getting pretty standard stock elite performance between that 60 to 70 FPS range, getting standard range performance, I would say around that 45-foot range or so. Pretty typical for elite NERF flywheelers anyways, but this aesthetic is awesome, and I give NERF props. They haven't really done anything right this year, but aesthetically, they're doing this line right. Like, they are definitely targeting a younger audience with this blaster, but I think it's something that a lot of people will enjoy, and it really brings back a lot of memories for me. And obviously, this is, you know, in terms of technology, a lot better than the Max Force line in terms of performance, but pretty standard, obviously, for NERF now. And then to have an aesthetic like this, and, you know, it's really awesome, and they've really done a good job, you know, mixing in the different colors of plastic to give a really nice look. They have nice texture on this blaster, which is really cool. This is a $40 blaster, so it is not cheap by any stretch of the imagination. There are definitely cheaper options if you just want a Strife style blaster. Obviously, the stock standard Strife is a great option, especially if you're into modding. But honestly, if you're picking this one up, you're picking it up because of the aesthetic, so that's pretty much irrelevant, honestly. So, yeah, I mean, you get colors on both sides because of that plastic. The way they've colored, they do the basically plastic and no paint now, which, you know, I'm okay with that. I think it's a good choice. It's a good compromise. And, you know, I think the blaster looks pretty darn sweet. I may have to remove the scope because that I think will give me a little better sight on top of the blaster, and this kind of actually blocks the view, which is kind of interesting. But I think this will be able to be removed once you open the blaster up, and this does have a lot of screws, so it does look like it should be pretty easy to open. I have seen somebody open this up already, so it is good there. It doesn't look like it's going to have a lot of space, obviously, for a LiPo because of the way the battery tray is designed, but there should be some empty space other places, hopefully, to put one. Getting to that, though, is not going to be easy, so hopefully we can find some way to fit a LiPo in there. I'm sure we will be able to. Nevertheless, I think this blaster is really cool. I will put a link down in the description box below to where you can pick one of these up along with the other two blasters in the line. This is available online right now at Walmart. Hopefully it'll be showing up on shelves soon. I'm sure it will be. And I'm not sure if it's going to be sold other places or not yet, but definitely available on walmart.com, and those links will be in the description box. If you enjoyed this review, please smash that like button. It greatly helps out my videos if you leave a like on them. Make sure you're subscribed, even if you think you are. Double check, because I was unsubscribed to a fellow Nerfer's YouTube channel the other day without even realizing it, and I felt really bad about that. And so I don't know what's up with YouTube still doing that. That's really strange, but yeah. Make sure you're subscribed. Ring that bell for notifications so you can be alerted when I post a video, and that could be very helpful since it's a little inconsistent these days, which I apologize about, but work is crazy right now. I just don't have a lot of free time. And honestly, NERF is just not coming out with that much cool stuff anymore, unfortunately. But nevertheless, smash that like button. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and as always, peace out.